Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give you a guide for the floor B26 in the Brutal Singularity Tower. Leviathan is weak to lightning and he also has increased magic resistance, so physical attacks are more effective on him, and Leviathan will use magic warrior attacks, so you need magic defense and warrior resistance is also welcome, and you also need something to debuff lightning resistance as he will buff it occasionally, and definitely something to debuff magic attack. And you also have a long sigil phase and you need both triangle and X sigil, and Leviathan will also have a force gauge and he will do a countdown and you need to deplete that force gauge in time, otherwise it's a wipe. But beware of that briny bellow attack. It's a very powerful single target attack and you want to be protected against it. And he also has a very fast animation, so you have to switch to defense very quickly when you see it, and it also targets the character with the lowest HP. Since it's physical lightning battle, currently we only have 2 physical lightning DPS and they are Cloud and Zack, but soon Yuffie should get a new physical lightning Arcanum set, so she should be the best option for this battle. And I guess you could use Tifa with Exploit Weakness Glove as a secondary DPS, but only if you have a main DPS. And Leviathan was released just before the Monster Hunter crossover, where we got Kamura Aerith and Big PP Lightning Zack, and this battle has been designed for them. Obviously, they are the best choice here, and frankly, like in 95% battles, Kamura is the MVP here as well. And in previous floors I would leave equipment slots empty and lower my power level, but this floor feels like a big difficulty jump, and with my team it is very close, and because I have no camera I had to find ways to fit in those required abilities, and I would have gone with a different team, but this is the only thing that worked for me, and it is still very close because I have to kill Leviathan before his last AoE attack, otherwise I can't survive. And if I were to make my team more tanky, I can't break that force gauge in time, and that's an early wipe, so that's the only way I can personally do it. Aerith has Rebirth outfit with Breath of the Earth, Gambantain to heal and buff physical attack, Terra to debuff lightning resistance, Ultimate, single target cure just in case, then X Sigil and Breach Materia, and in sub-equipment slots Aerith has 2 weapons with physical attack for allies to boost Cloud, and a guild weapon with magic defense for allies. Naaki has Canyon outfit with Stardust Ray, Slate Collar to buff magic defense, Junk Collar to debuff magic attack, ultimate weapon, bravery materia, and X and triangle sigil, both sigils, and then in sub-equipment slots Naaki has Gargantuan Monolith with HP and magic defense, and 2 weapons with water resistance. Cloud has Lightning Arcanum outfit with Ramu, Murasame for DPS, Lock to buff lightning damage, Buster, triangle sigil in boost slot and 2 physical attack stat sticks, and then in sub-equipment slots Baja Sword to boost physical attack, Mad Minute for HP, and a weapon to max out physical attack and get more lightning potency. Alright, Leviathan, and it's the same battle as Leviathan EX2, but Leviathan has just a lot more HP and hits harder. But with Aerith, I have to debuff that lightning resistance as quickly as possible. But with Naaki, you can just do some supportive buffs and debuffs to nullify it and debuff Leviathan, but for me the most important thing is to buff Cloud so he can actually deplete that gauge in time. Right, and that should be fine. With Briny Bellow, ideally you want to switch to defense, but at the beginning of the battle it's not needed, because you can still survive it. Later it becomes much harder and you have to switch to defense, absolutely. But you have to deplete that gauge on 1, otherwise it will not go through, and this tidal wave will be a wipe. But when you see that it's charging slowly, you know that you passed that DPS check. But alright, that should be fine here. Ah, didn't go through. It never does. But here after this attack, ideally you want to be able to use your summons. Alright, no. So here you want to be cancelling that attack, because if this attack goes through, you are locked in that sigil phase and you will have all the immunity up to lightning damage. So that's why, maybe one more. Let's see. Yeah. And after this, well, ideally it would be that you want to use 2 or 3 summons at the same time, but I'll just use those 2 summons to get Ramuh in time. And actually let's just also use one more Murasame. At this point Murasame is really out there yet, but it's actually a very nice thing that the animation is insanely fast. So in such moments you can actually get off an extra attack, whereas it would be impossible with other weapons. But here that sigil phase is very long, and I also recommend switching to defense whenever you see a Leviathan doing this tidal roar. And also with Nanaki, if you want, at any point you can use that ultimate ability to gain extra healing so you don't take too much damage. So instead of healing, you can just keep breaking those sigils. And Aerith's limit break is almost ready too. And yes, with Nanaki you can use his limit break to, in this sigil phase, to just stall Leviathan to get some extra AB. But I'd rather save that limit break to use it together with Ramuh. And it's alright, we are almost done with the sigils, so Nanaki can break them, those final ones, but I want to start preparing to use Ramuh, so start debuffing everything I still have. So one more here, and Breach. And we are actually very good here. Alright, let's just do this. And also, if you pass the 60% HP mark, so if you deplete 40% of the HP bar, Leviathan will skip some of his animations, like that briny bellow, so you avoid Nanaki being targeted, or your character, one of your characters. Yes, I still got target with that, but it was only one, otherwise you can't do even 3 of them. But this is another sigil phase coming, so let's just break it quickly if I can. But also depends how long you are in that sigil phase, the more Leviathan is buffing his wear damage. And you can feel actually in this sigil phase he hurts you a lot more than during the first one. So let's just start preparing. Yes, here one more hit, but also with Aerith to fully debuff. And perfect. So the same thing. Just start preparing everything, your buffs and debuffs again, Your Ramu is almost ready, and it would be very nice to use it. Alright, breach, and let's do this. But also be careful, because very soon Leviathan will do Briny Bellow again. And that should be after this. Yeah, here. Gyospume. Actually, I screwed it up. You didn't have to switch the defense on Gyospume. I thought this is coming, and yeah, I screwed this up. And Naki almost died, so I forgot that's the Briny Bellow. It just debuffs your magic defense, so it's fine. But after that, those two single target attacks are coming. So you can do better than me. Alright, and this tidal wave, if you are very tanky, you could survive it, but you need quite a lot of orb resistance, because this will hurt you a lot. For example, my Clouds, he would take 20,000 over, or 22,000 damage, so I can't survive it while having enough DPS to break that's power force gauge in time. So you could survive it technically, but I can't with my team. It's impossible. So in such battle, you have to kill him, otherwise you are dead. It's a wipe. But yeah, that is the guide. And to be honest, this is a big difficulty spike, and I don't know how many more floors I can do. I'm guessing I'm prepared to perhaps be able to clear 1 or 2 more floors, but definitely I will get stuck on Behemoth Steward, because it's an earth boss, and I don't have any earth other than Sephiroth, and he is not a real DPS, so I'm not sure. But yeah, that would be it. So good luck on your own clear, and hopefully I hope you found my guide helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.